Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about TLRY, ticker symbol TLRY. Now, in last weekend's video, we talked about a major catalyst that could create a lot of potential upside for TLRY. And this past Friday, that major catalyst came to fruition. The MORE Act was reintroduced into the U.S. House of Representatives, creating a pathway to federal legalization in the United States in the coming months. And as a result, TLRY and every single weed name should be on your watch list in the coming weeks. There is a lot of potential upside here. And in this video specifically, I'm going to break down this news and what it means for TLRY. And then I'm going to take a look at the chart, breaking down key levels and key indicators so we know how to best play this stock moving forward. Without any further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so really quickly, before we get started, I just want to thank everybody for the support so far. We did break past 100 subscribers last week, meaning that tomorrow I will be doing a full market live stream where I answer your guys' questions. I break down charts that you guys are playing, and I also show you guys my process for day trading. I'm super excited for it. Make sure to tune in. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to do that. We are just getting started here. But without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Okay, so here we have it. The news that is causing TLRY investors everywhere to rejoice. A bill to federally legalize marijuana and promote social equity in the industry was reintroduced into the House of Representatives on Friday. Specifically here, we are talking about the MORE Act, the Marijuana Opportunity Reinvestment and Expungement Act. And like we talked about in last weekend's video, this bill was first introduced in December, where it passed in the House but did not advance in the Senate under GOP control. However, this time around, things are looking a lot more promising. Specifically, advocates are optimistic that the policy change could be enacted now that Democrats run both chambers and the White House, and as more states are moving to enact legalization. This is very, very optimistic for TLRY for two reasons, okay? The first is that TLRY, as we all know, is an industry leader. They are the largest cannabis company in the world when it comes to revenue. And as a result, they have the capital to expand their operations globally. We've seen this happen in Europe so far this year as different countries have legalized marijuana over there. TLRY has successfully been able to integrate themselves into the market. And now with the US promising legalization, we should expect the same kind of moves from TLRY. But another reason I'm very bullish for TLRY is because this stock has acted very positively towards US federal legalization interest in the past, specifically taking a look at the chart and taking a look at what happened earlier this year. Okay, TLRY started out the year on January 4th, trading in this $8 to $10 range. But then on January 6th, as we all remember, there was that special runoff election in Georgia where the Democrats won control of the Senate. And as a result, investors everywhere got very optimistic on the marijuana industry, knowing that now there is a much easier pathway to legalization. And we saw this play out, okay? In the next couple of weeks, TLRY ran all the way from that $8 range to $20 without much resistance. And then just a few weeks after that, it made a push all the way to the $60 to $70 range. And that was before any, legislation was actually introduced. Now that we have legislation and now that TLRY is starting to break out of this downtrend, well, we can really start to expect a move up in the coming weeks. Taking a look at one indicator before we break it down on the 1 minute chart, we see that the MACD has started to cross into bullish territory, which is an extreme positive here after an absolutely brutal March and April for this stock. That is something to be very optimistic about. And we're going to go into more indicators in a second here on the 1 minute. But first, let's just take a look at the price action for this week and explain it very quickly. So we started off the week down here in these high 14s, low 15s range, and we just started climbing all week long, eventually making a move all the way to 1870 on Friday, when the More Act was being reintroduced. And then we got kind of into a sell the news phenomenon here. Tilray ended up dropping all the way into the 16 range, closing at 1667. But that is pretty normal with such a major catalyst. However, as we all know, this catalyst could change the bottom line for Tilray as we know it. And so this, may have been a bit of an overreaction. And I'm really looking forward to seeing tomorrow to see how this news is actually going to be priced in. I personally am very bullish and expect a move back to the upside where we're going to test some key indicators right here. But let's talk about the indicators, okay? The first indicator that we always look at is this yellow line here. That represents the volume weighted average price, or the VWAP. And Tilray did close below that on Friday, meaning that the Bears are in control heading into tomorrow's trading session. However, like I said, this isn't just an average trading day, okay? A major catalyst was introduced. And so I wouldn't read too much into this. I am very curious to see how Tilray performs tomorrow. But others aside from that, there are two major moving averages to take a look at here. The first one right here, this purple line, that represents the 21-day EMA. And I use that moving average to tell us whether we are in bullish or bearish territory in the short to intermediate term. And after an incredible move this week, Tilray crossed back over the 21-day EMA and closed above it, meaning that things are starting to look very bullish in the short to intermediate term. However, we also have this light blue line up here at 1804. That represents the 50-day moving average. And I use that indicator to tell us whether we're in bullish or bearish territory in the intermediate to long term. And as you guys can see, we did make a push to get above this moving average this past week. And if we closed above it, things would have looked extremely bullish for Tilray. Unfortunately, we were not able to do so. However, if the investors react positively to this news, I do expect a retest of this level very soon. And like I said, if we can get above, then Tilray will be very, very bullish no matter what time frame you're looking at. So that is something to keep your eye on heading into next week's trading session. Now, the last thing we got to do with this chart is take a look at key levels. Specifically, let's identify our support and resistance levels. So the first support level Tilray is going to have is right here at 1640. After that, we have major support right here at this 1590 to 1570 range. This is a level we've talked about in previous videos. It's a very big level for Tilray, both on the support side and the resistance side. And now that we are back above it, I would expect major support to come in here and a lot of volume buying to come in if we were to retest these levels. And that's exactly what you guys should be keeping in mind if you are looking to either add to your position or start a position into Array. I always say this in all my videos, okay? Try to buy near support levels, especially very strong support levels like this range right here, because by doing so, you minimize your risk and you maximize your upside. If this range does hold like it has in the past, well, all of a sudden, you bought at the bottom and we're only going to see upside ahead. So these are very good target zones to buy Tilray in the next week if you are looking to add. However, now taking a look at the resistance side, we do have pretty major resistance right here at 1690 based off of historical levels. But after that, we have resistance at 1730 and 1790 to 1805. And after that, the resistance becomes a lot lighter as we push all the way to 20. We do have resistance levels here based historically at 1840, 1885, 1925, and 1975. However, these resistance levels are pretty light in comparison to the 1790 resistance and 1690 resistance. So if we can get above those and can get above this 50-day moving average again, then I expect a pretty clean push to the $20 range. But the last thing we're going to take a look at is the volume. Okay. We saw major volume pour in for Tilray on Friday in anticipation of this More Act. And if this volume can continue, then there is no doubt in my mind that Tilray will start making the next leg up this week. So pay close attention to the volume. If the volume levels aren't there and we see a drop back into the 15, 17 million range, well, then you can expect some low volume consolidation or maybe even some downside. It's something that you should always keep your eye on as a trader. But let me know what you think is going to happen next week. Are we going to make that next leg up? Is there going to be that hype for legalization, or is there going to be more selling the news and some downside ahead? I always love to hear your feedback, so let me know. And if you have any questions, let me know as well. I'm happy to answer them. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. And aside from that, have a great rest of your night.